Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So it's been an interesting week here in Doctor Who fandom. Millie Gibson was cast as the companion. Well, her casting was announced as a companion on Friday night. What day would that be? I'm recording this on Wednesday. It's the 23rd. So the Doctor Who's anniversary. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is the 25th. So it'll be the 18th, right? She came out on the 18th. So only 5 days ago, the casting came out. I think the media's in a little bit of like stunned, like, what? Why are they so stunned? It's because she's a normative ideal of beauty for a heterosexual male, right? Which is really unusual, right? We haven't seen that for a long. We haven't seen heterosexual males treated as normal in media for years. I mean, literally for years, we've been told that normative masculinity was toxic and evil, and we have to replace it with this weird, like, sexually strange feminism, right? Where black is white, up is down. Like, I really feel for kids today, like young boys today, when they look at like things like Sports Illustrated, the swimsuit edition, we're supposed to have normative, masculine, heterosexual ideals of beauty, right? On that cover, that's what normally sells it, and it's fat, ugly people, generally speaking. And then, so if you're a younger chap nowadays, and you look at that and you go, well, I'm not very turned on. Maybe I'm trans, right? And they go, yes, you are. You better have your bollocks cut off and your penis turned inside out into vagina before you think about it, right? And I know it sounds a bit of an exaggeration, but that's kind of what's going through their heads. What goes through their heads is strange things. So anyway, Millie Gibson's casting was a bit, what? Because they're already in freefall. They're already in freefall. Why? Because everything they believe has been disproved. It's kind of like that famous sketch where you got the two SS officers and they look over at each other and go, are we the bad guys, right? It's not quite like that. They're looking over at each other and going, were we wrong about everything? And yes, you were wrong, right? You were wrong about everything. The only way to avoid admitting that you're wrong about everything is be hugely wealthy. So you saw like hugely wealthy celebrities seeing Donald Trump being allowed back on Twitter. Not that he's used it as yet, right? And they're going like, no, we can't go back to Donald Trump. It was like, dude, we all have money and world peace, right? But if they still have money, I don't really think they care about much else, right? So, again, the whole shifting sands of the world that we're living right now is strange. It's a very strange thing. So they were melting down somewhat. That Jodie Whittaker's era of Doctor Who has absolutely failed, because it should have been the bestest ever. It should have just worked out incredibly well. Everybody should have gone, oh yes, we've broken the glass ceiling. Now we can be free and throw off the shackles of the male patriarchy, where indeed what they're trying to throw off was the shackles of normative human sexuality, which didn't work out very well. Didn't really take, right? Didn't really take. So they're in a little bit of freefall. So they consoled themselves with Jodie Whittaker failing by going, no, she didn't fail. Everybody loved her. Oh, look. And then the David Tennant regenerated not to a costume because Rusty Davis said, well, that looked a bit silly. They went, no, Russell, no. It's normal. Right? You're going to make Yasmin Finney the companion? Yasmin Finney shooting the cat was the companion? Yes, she is. And now they found out Yasmin Finney isn't. And they're not even screaming. They're still like, So that's where they are right now. They're a little bit torn in that. Well, they see that people quite like all this shooting gut was done in upcoming Doctor Who, right? And it kind of fits broadly into the spectrum of the progressive stack. He's a black man, Rusty Davis is gay. Maybe it'll make it okay, right? Maybe they make it okay. And also it seems to be they don't like to be fawning around failures, which the Christian or Doctor Who was. So they're confused. It's a confusing time for them. God bless their little hearts. So we're going to look at one article, maybe two, maybe three. Depends how long it takes to go through them. Where we look at their confusion, right? Where they try and process what is going on, and they know they got their marching orders that they say it's got to be the bestest ever, but they also know that they're contradicting themselves massively, right? And so they're kind of like, it's kind of like that Star Trek, right? Mud's Women, right? And believe me, I would not have left that planet. Mud's Women, where they make the robots, and the way they break the robots is by having them be illogical with each other, and it breaks their heads. Like, that's what's going on with them, right? That's what's going on with them. And given that they called me a bigot and all the most terrible names in the world, and probably everybody watching for the last 5 years, I think it's worth having a bit of a giggle, right? I think it's worth having a bit of giggle at their clear discomfort at normative human sexuality, right? And it always is. Yeah, I had somebody on Twitter this morning was like, how dare you Photoshop Millie Gibson's head onto a sexy body? I thought, actually I did from my thumbs. She's only 18. I'm like, dude. She is only 18. She has lots and lots of highly sexualized pictures of her, which she didn't look like. She was like, no, don't put those on. Like, no, okay. Look, here's a basic truth, right? And again, this is normative human sexual drives. Men, generally speaking, like looking at attractive women, right? Men, generally speaking, enjoy that. That's hardwired into us, right? We like looking at, you shouldn't touch, you shouldn't be leery, you shouldn't be creepy, but it's that hardwired, thing, just part of all humans that exists. And women, on their part, I mean, they like looking at attractive men too, but women kind of get off on, well, don't kind of, definitely get off on being viewed as being attractive, on being viewed as being desirable, being viewed as being looked at, in other words, right? Which is what's going on with Millie over here, in all these like highly sexualized pictures of her. Now, I think quite smartly for the upcoming series, the picture they put out of her and Shill together, they didn't highly sexualize her. She looked slightly. You got a bit of side boob, and believe me, I'm always looking for these sort of things, so that's never going to be turned off. But they toned her makeup down and made her look more younger, more like a kid, more innocent, right? But still very sexy, So you got that going on. Which I think is basically going to work. But again, this basic admission that normative human sexuality is the way I just described it, they're finding it a little bit confusing. And we are going to take the piss. Fine. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things are fantastic. Follow me on the Instagram. Sign up to my Substack, my email newsletter. It may actually cause you to become incredibly sexually virile, right? And very, very, very attractive to whichever sex that you would like to be attractive to that day, right? It might well happen. I've heard people say, Tzvi, I can't beat them off. And beat them off is an expression you shouldn't look up on Google. I can't even beat them off. People are after me so much now. I've signed up to your Substack. I say, listen, mate. These things happen, right? These things. So give it a go. Listen, if you are feeling a little bit forlorn, sign up to my Substack, and you may become very desirable very, very quickly. It happens, baby. It happens. Results may vary. Fine, like, share, subscribe, comment. Let's have a look at this article over here. Doink, we'll start over here. Screen rant. Oh, don't you love screen rant? Screen rant. So much insanity, so little self-awareness. Doctor Who's new companion continues RTT's perfect season 14 change. Really? I seem to remember you going, oh, Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who is the bestest ever. Anybody who doesn't like that is a bigot. So how'd you get any better than the bestest ever? Well, I guess we're going to find out. Rusty Davies' return to Doctor Who is bringing with it a lot of exciting changes. Again, normative human behavior, right? Normative human behavior. And I don't know why I think this. I don't know why I think this is desperation, I think. But I really believe Russell T Davies wants to make a Doctor Who that ticks all the boxes. And what boxes do I mean? They tick all the boxes for Disney. You got a black gentleman in the lead who's a son of a refugee or a refugee himself. They like that a lot. It's being written by a very, very out and proud gay man. They like that a lot, right? Who speaks lovingly about the LGBTQ plus alliance, right? They love all that as well. But I think Rusty Davies also likes Doctor Who to be good, right? And he certainly likes to be successful. And here's the most important thing, and this is very, very clear watching any of his TV shows. He understands humanity, right? He understands humanity, and the vast majority of humanity is normative, non-fluid heterosexuals, right? Which is, again, a truth we just haven't been able to say for the last 5 years, maybe even more, right? We just haven't been able to say that basic reality. And it's not, look, if you don't fit into that norm, which I don't, frankly, I'm a fat Jewish guy, right? I'm not normal, right? If you're gay, if you're whatever you are, right? If you're not in the norm, right? That's groovy. Enjoy your difference, but don't tell everybody it's normal, because it's not, right? New companion has been revealed for Doctor Who season 14. Continue. Russell Davies changes for the series. Davies was announced as returning to Doctor Who after Christian and Jodie Whittaker left the show under a cloud after BBC Centenary special Power of the Doctor. Now, I have to say, neither of them have announced a new gig as yet, which is I feel worse for Chris Chibnall than I do for Jodie Whittaker, quite frankly. Because Chris Chibnall delivered exactly what they asked him to deliver, right? And he's taking all the blame for it. Meanwhile, Piers Wenger, he's doing fine, got himself a new job. Listen, they need to commission something from him just out of... because they screwed him over. But again, I'm attaching moral values to people who work in the entertainment industry. The silly me. Sex education star Ncuti Gatwa was confirmed to be taking over the man. Oh, he's also gay. Is he gay? I don't know. Listen, I've never seen him suck a dick, Ncuti, but if you tell me he's gay, I'm like, yeah, okay. I didn't know Simon Callow was gay. Apparently he's gay, right? So again, ticks all the boxes of Disney. I think ticks all the boxes of Doctor Who fans in that it's going to be good Doctor Who, like story-driven, character-driven, people you care about. It'll make sense without massive plot holes. And it won't be wagging a finger at you, telling you that you're evil for not sharing their weird views about life and reality. All right? Because I think Russell Davies understands that's not the best way of getting people on your side. So sex education star Ncuti Gatwa was confirmed to taking over the mantle of the Doctor. And again, sex education star Ncuti Gatwa it ticks all the boxes for Disney. They're like, yes! Oh, yes, that's so good. Was it Bob Chapek was just fired from the CEO position of Disney. And the rumor going around today is the reason he was fired is because he was pushing back against this, how would you describe it? Liberal progressive agenda's the wrong. Agenda's not a good word because people you overuse it. But yeah, this liberal progressive platforming throughout Disney content. So Bob Chapek was pushing back on that because it was causing them to fail massively, and I think that's what got him fired, essentially, and the return of Bob Iger, who was the champion of the liberal progressive platforming. Well, how will this affect Doctor Who on Disney Plus? I don't think it will, because again, Russell Davies ticks all the boxes for them. They think it's fine. They think it's going to be great. And honestly, I'm fine with having a worldview that I don't particularly agree with if it's good entertainment that makes sense, right? I'm totally fine with that. Which I think maybe we will have, right? Sex Education Ncuti Gatwa was confirmed taking over the mantle of the Doctor, but we'll have to wait till 2023 6th anniversary specials to sit in the driver's seat of the TARDIS, since David Tennant has returned to the 14th Doctor, repairing the damage done by Chibnall Whittaker on the 18th of November 2022. Doctor Who's newest companion was revealed, and believe me, I understand she's only 18, which is younger than my youngest son's girlfriend, right? Way younger than any of my kids. I'm still very turned on by her. What do you want out of me? I'm only made of flesh and bloody blood. Just the way it is. So she was revealed. Not quite enough for me. Doctor just creating a lot of excitement for Davis's new direction. Well, certainly created a lot of excitement for a new direction for me. 18-year-old Millie Gibson, best known for portraying Kelly Nealon on the British soap opera Coronation Street. I actually have to tell you this. I'm really excited for her too, because I think this is good. And she's so young, right? I mean, she is so young. I'm not saying that in a pervy way, even though it's reasonably pervy. But she's so young. And I think this is going to set her up for life, right? I think she's good. I think she's probably a good actress. I think she can probably really bring the goods, and she's going to be great as, what's her name again? Ruby Sunday, right? I think she's going to be really, really good. I think she's going to capture the hearts and imaginations of young people around the world, right? But I think it's going to set up her career. I think 20 years from now, she's going to be, if we still have Oscars then, right? If they, whatever the equivalent of getting an Oscar back in 2010 was, I think she will be doing that in 2050, right? Probably because of this. Good for her. Where we went. So, Adrian in the British soap opera Karney Shomron was announced as the 15th Doctor companion during 2022's Children in Need appeal. Her casting alongside Judy Gatt was titular Time Lord. Perfectly sums up the new direction that Davis is taking with Doctor Who, bringing in younger audiences to portray main characters, creating fresh and more modern atmosphere for the series. Well, that was what they were trying to do with Jodie Whittaker, make it more relevant, make it more modern, right? And Doctor Who always works when it's surfing the and it always has done when it's surfing the crest of. The trends of television. I did a live stream last night. As I said, I'm recording this on November 23rd, Doctor Who's birthday, right? I did a live stream last night. I compared the anniversary specials. And the interesting thing is, as you go through the years, as you go through time, you notice that they're all very... what's the word I'm looking for? They're all very... representative of where television is at that time. The 3 Doctors, the 5 Doctors, the Dark Dimension, which never got made. What was it? Zagreus, Light at the End, and Dare the Doctor, right? They're very, very emblematic of where television was, because Doctor Who is a modern show, and it's really weird, but it always has been, right? It's really weird it's been such a modern show, and its main character is this old Victorian, was started off as this old Victorian person, somewhat out of time. But yeah, listen, I think it's going to be huge. I think if people are going to want to see Ncuti Gatwa, I think people are going to want to see Millie Gibson. I certainly do. But it's amazing. Whenever I say, psych for the dads, which is what John Nathan Turner would say, you get these younger kids, these younger fans are like, oh, that's disgusting. She's only 18. I'm not holding her down and raping her. I'm saying she is attractive. Why am I saying she is attractive? Because she is attractive. Because I am a normative heterosexual male, and I find attractive girls attractive. Attractive girls who present themselves deeply sexual in a deeply sexual adult manner. Attractive, right? When I say girls, I mean obviously people of consenting age, which she is. But again, you talk about sexuality with kids today, they're like, it's all wrong and evil. And I understand why they all think that. We live in a weird, sick world. What? How weird and sick world is it that the media doesn't really understand how we could, how Rusty Evans could possibly have cast an attractive young lady, in the role of the companion for Doctor Who, and they're confused by that. Again, we live in strange times. This continues the theme of Rusty's recent work, It's a Sin, and Cucumber, Banana, and Tofu trilogy, which will introduce the next generation of new talent. I don't think Tofu, Banana, and Cucumber really did that, but I think It's a Sin got him into the idea of working with young people, and I think he really enjoyed that, right? Also, I think he sees the cultural wasteland that we live in, and there needs to be some kind of incubator so that you can have young people who care about social issues and be able to express them without failing completely as writers, which is where we've been in media for the last few years, isn't it? Was it Next Generation? Gatwa and Gibson's casting in Doctor Who will revitalise the series after years of divisive adventures, which you platformed, which you said were the best ever. Right, Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson proves RTD's Doctor Who will be different. I think it'll be very, very traditional Doctor Who in the same way that it's about two an attractive young girl, not young girl, I'm not thinking of a 12-year-old. I'm thinking of that, which is an attractive young girl. An attractive young girl and a Time Lord will become great friends in time and space. It's about that friendship, right? We had that with Joe Grant and the Third Doctor. We had that with Rose and the Ninth and the 10th Doctor. It's the same thing. It's that connection of two friends of very, very different people, right? So that's going to be very, very traditional Doctor Who. When I never got that Jodie Whittaker's Doctor had friendship with any of her companions, not that any of her companions had any personality, because again they couldn't really write it in. But I don't think Jodie Whittaker played it like a relatable person, right? I couldn't see the authenticity in her performance because I don't think there was any, right? In recent years, Doctor Who has faced criticism, with many feeling that as though the writing and action was becoming stale. Yeah, but we all got called sexist and racist for saying that. Don't you remember? Because you were the one fucking saying it! You cunt! So Davis bringing in major changes with casting is an exciting prospect. It always happens! They always bring in major changing and casting with Doctor Who. Right? I really... it's so stupid, it's beyond belief. With more recent companions, including Bradley Walters, Graham O'Brien, John Bishop, Stan Lewis, were brilliant choices for the series. Well, people who actually had some personality and life to them to offset the cardboard block... The cardboard boxes that were Jodie Whittaker and Mandy Kill. Davis' decision to cast younger faces in the role. Hey, what about Ryan and Mandip? They were younger faces, weren't they? In the roles of the Doctor and the Companion will mean his new era will be able to almost start over. Not almost, is, right? It's good. When David Tennant turns up next year, no connective tissue will there be to the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who, and huzzah for that, I say. Davis said to the cast, blah, blah, blah. Gutwer and Gibson casting proves that Davis is taking the Doctor in a wildly different direction. How's that wildly different direction? Something just fell down. That was really bizarre. I wonder what that was. A wildly different direction. Taking it in a wildly different direction that Doctor Who has always gone. It's taking it back in the direction of Doctor Who. Something which he actually already has practice in. Okay. Russell Davis' previous era of Doctor Who saw him bring back the series from the dead in the 89 cancellation, something that the 96 TV movie featuring Paul McGann, the 8th Doctor, failed to do. Yes. Gatwa and Gibson's... in all fairness, the reason that the McGann movie didn't work in terms of making a series is it was kind of just trapped in the American system of making TV. In England, it did very well. It wasn't like it did badly. It did extremely well. The finance at the time to make a cutting-edge TV show just didn't exist without American backing. Now, again, this was before CGI had really brought costs down. And also budgets went up with selling things internationally. So Gutwer Gibson casting is reminiscent of Christopher Eccleston and Billy Piper's roles as a fresh-faced Doctor and younger companion swooping in to save the show and bring attention of new audiences. So how's this completely different if it's exactly the same? Yes, it's completely different from Chris Chibnall, which you kept telling us was the best ever. Remember that? I remember that. Each showrunner on Doctor Who makes changes to the way things have previously been done. Not really, no. I mean, again, Doctor Who's been pretty much constant for a good 50 years. And then Chris Chibnall turns up and literally balls the entire thing up. But it's the perfect choice for Davis to use his old tried and tested formula to reignite excitement instead. So what is it? Is it new or is it old? You're saying it's both. Again, They're in meltdown. It's new. New is good. New is good, but it's old. Old is good. New is good. What? Jodie Whittaker didn't fail. Oh, it was stale. What happened to Yasmin Finney? I don't know. Help! I am going to explode. I cannot compute. Cannot compute. Oh, maybe it's being written by Daleks. That would make sense. Has been done, but it's a perfect choice of Davis to use his old tried and tested formula to reignite excitement and says. But again, why do we need to do that, Screen Rant? You said it was the best as ever. Anybody who didn't like it was a bigot, right? Do you remember? Oh, I remember, you cunt. I remember you saying that a lot. Rusty Davis are exactly what the show needs. Really? Wow, okay. Since leaving the show at the end of David Tennant run, the 10th Doctor, Rusty Davis has success in projects and has introduced new talent to the world of TV. With the likes of Years and Years, wasn't very good, it didn't introduce new talent. Now, okay, Lydia West, right? But that's because he wrote somebody who was younger, right? It's a sin. Yes, Cucumber Banana. He's successful! Is that what you're trying to say? Yes, we agree, he's successful. With the prospects that... with new perspectives that will equate to some of the best adventures of Gatwa and Gibson. Many Doctor Who viewers regard Davis' previous era as the strongest seasons of the series. It's up there. I mean, listen, if we're talking about golden ages, there's been a bunch of them, right? Hinchcliffe and Hose, Letts and Terrence Dix. You couldn't say John Nathan Turner and Eric Saywood, sadly. Rusty Davis, Stephen Moffat. There's been many golden ages of the show, right? William Hartnell and Verity Lambert, right? Yeah, there's been a lot of golden ages to the show because it's an awesome show. That's why. As one of the greatest eras ever, so that there's no doubt Davis' return is exactly what is needed. Yes, it is exactly what's needed. Chibnall's run on Doctor Who often faltered on the way to having big cast in the TARDIS. No. It faltered on the way of not being able to write for a big cast in the TARDIS. Why could he not write for a big cast in the TARDIS? Because he couldn't write for a small cast in the TARDIS. Could he write for no cast in it? He couldn't write for anything. Because he just wasn't very good at his job, right? Which you just kept telling me I was a Nazi because I pointed that out. Since when it became more and more convoluted, it will do the series good to be stripped back to basics, getting to the heart of what makes the show so entertaining, rather than trying to thrill with bigger adventures every episode. See, that was the mistake that Star Trek Discovery made, right? It just kind of said that we have no ideas. We just got to make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? That's all it can be. That's what you do when you don't have ideas, which often comes at the expense of touching moments or character. Perfect example is being the 6-part Doctor Who Flux storyline. And again, the tragedy of Chris Chibnall is the better he got, the more watchable his Doctor Who got, which was never that much, the more they hated it because the more it failed, right? Davis had previously been skilled at balancing excitement of the Doctor's travels through time and space with a grounded human emotion, so it will be great to see this return. Again, you're talking about competence and the ability to write. All right, that's all it is. It's not about the big cast in the TARDIS, convoluted plots. It's a basic ability to be able to write and understand humans, right? This is why Chris Chibnall cast Doctor Who by algorithm, which is what Jodie Whittaker and Amanda Gill and Tosin Cole and Bradley Walsh was. It was casting Doctor Who via the remits of algorithm, and while Rusty Davis isn't doing that. When will she be introduced? We don't know. My guess, I think we're going to see the new Doctor Christmas Day. I'm hoping Christmas Day on BBC. Both Shill and Millie Gibson will debut during the 60th anniversary specials. We don't know that. Even though these episodes are primarily set to feature David Tennant's 14th Doctor and the return of Catherine Tate as Donna Noble, the new TARDIS team is unlikely to go on a full adventure together until 24, season 14. However, 2023 special episodes will be full to bursting with actions, especially since it has to answer questions surrounding Tennant and Tate's return to the series after a highly anticipated episode. Gibson will portray Ruby Sunday, the Doctor's youngest companion to date. Yes. Really? Why can't she be 23? That would make my life so much easier. And even, look, 23 is also way too young for me, okay? When I look at somebody and go, oh, she's hot, that doesn't mean I'm going to try and sleep with her. That means I think she's hot, right? And again, why are we embarrassed to point out basic human sexuality? That highly sexualized, very, very hot woman over there is very hot. But she's 18. Is she a highly sexualized, very, very hot woman? Yes. Okay, so that's fine. When the series goes into when the full series with Davis at the helm returns, where with new talent taking on some of the most iconic roles on TV, audience who might have never had interest in Doctor Who will be interested to the series, introduced to the series. That's the fact. Why is Yasmin Finney in it? I think everybody in it can bring the goods, right? I think everybody in it can do the job they're supposed to do. But they, I think, the 50 billion people that followers they have on TikTok might not hurt either, right? I think the same thing with Millie Gibson and so on. This in turn, Doctor Who will be, and they're releasing it through Disney Plus. Fine, so they are excited, right? They're excited, but they again, it's really hard to point out why you're excited without pointing out that the previous version of Doctor Who sucked, right? So then we had this instead of this going on said, don't worry, this came out basically the same time. This is an article to smooth people's terror, right? Sheer terror that they're pursuing normative human sexuality and not this weird, divisive, universal fluidity, which I don't think is really good for society. But I want to be clear to YouTube, right? I want to be 100% clear to YouTube that, yes, women can have penises, obviously, and men can have babies, obviously, right? 100% YouTube. I'm not arguing with you, okay? So Doctor Who's new rose follows a secret trend. It's not a secret, right? It's not a secret. It's a lady with a penis. That's not a secret trend. That's a very, very, very noisy trend, right? A very, very conspicuous trend. Doctor Who 6th anniversary will introduce a new Rose character. The choice follows the pattern from the original and the new series. Okay, and again, this is really just to talk about how Yasmin Finney is still a part of this production. Nobody panic! It's not anti-woke, they're saying. The introduction to... The funny thing is, people say, people who are like the liberal progressive things of the world, they go, oh, woke, that doesn't have a definition at all. Firstly, it does. It's the platforming of divisive ideology on an existent popular franchise with a fan base. That's what woke is. And the second thing is they know very well what woke is. Elon Musk yesterday, was it yesterday or today, on Twitter, she was going through the storerooms at Twitter, which they don't need quite so many of now. They fired 75% of the staff. Yay. But he said there was piles and piles of t-shirts saying, stay woke. Okay, so clearly they know what it means, right? Anything they can do to attack, and it's just who they are. Follows so the introduction of new Rose companion in Doctor Who follows a trend started with the original show in the 60s. The iconic show about blah 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 started in 63, revived in 2005, blah blah blah. Right, okay. Doctor Who is set to return, blah, 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 blah. Both old and new Doctor Who series started with a Rose companion. Not really, no. She was called Susan, as I recall. Back in the very first season of Doctor Who, The first Doctor's first companion was his granddaughter, Susan Foreman. The name, however, was only an alias that she chose to go by. Well, we never really know that. Her real name, what? Her real name is Archeator. What? Archeator, which is Gallifreyan from meaning rose. Where did they get that from? What? What? For the 2005 revival, Rose Tyler is the companion for the Ninth Doctor. Okay, what? What is the... Okay, I'm going to have to look that up. Let's go there. Archie, whatever. Oh, dang it. Hang on. Try that again. Copy. Where is this from? Okay. The name of Dr. Grant doesn't mean Rose. Is this coincidence or not? What's the source of... Yeah, where's it come from? That would be changed because she's also in a parallel dimension, but Jen is also his daughter. Okay, but what's the source of this? I found this on Susan's fandom Wikipedia. Yeah. Again, I've never heard this in my entire life. Like, where is it from? Find. To many accounts have been suggested. Okay. Well, the word Rose. Prose Rose, A Brief History of the Time Lords. Never heard of this. From A Brief History of the Time Lords? Her original name was said to be a great secret, which she did not deny, the Shoreditch intervention. That was a Big Finish thing. So, A Brief History of the Time Lords. What was that book? I don't remember this at all. Okay, will you get out of here? A tie-in book from 2017? Piss off. Really? Really? Okay, so this whole article. Oh, this is ridiculous, right? This is so Shill. Fine. That book from 2017 was written after 2005 and retconned Susan's name to be Archeator or whatever bullshit you want to say. That meant Rose. No. Just nonsense. Both series began with a companion named Rose making the same symbol from the... No, the first series didn't begin with a companion called Rose, okay? That was retconned in 12 years fucking later, you fucking morons! Both Roses have similar attributes, being the first companion in the respect... No, they don't! One's from Gallifrey, one's the shop girl from bloody... What was it? London? I don't know where they're supposed to be from. They are connected to the Doctor more intimately, with Susan's granddaughter being his granddaughter and Rose being the love of his life. Bloody hell! Oh, shoehorning that in. So the importance of the name Rose in Doctor Who. Okay, and this was an idea he had going back to like years. I remember. I think in the 90s there was an article, a roundtable article. In Doctor Who magazine, Rusty Davis and Paul Cornell and a bunch of other writers about what Doctor Who would be. And I think in that article he mentioned the name Rose. He said, "Oh, I thought Rose would be a good name for a companion." And also, if you look at Damaged Goods, Tyler was a name that they had as well. Damaged Goods is really good, by the way. I'm looking forward to Christmas going up because I do like giving that a re-listen. Where we go? So the name Rose continued to pop up a lot of way in the episode The Shakespeare Code. When witches unsuccessfully try to name the Doctor, they instead choose to weaken him with the name Rose, but instead the Doctor reveals that the name keeps him fighting. Later in Human Nature, when the Doctor disguises himself as a human, he becomes human, okay? He doesn't remember who he is. He cannot remember his species name or what the title is, but he remembers Rose. Now, again, this was in that... he remembered, like, Time Lords and bits and pieces, right? Rose was important to him. Okay, this whole thing is to say, don't worry, there's a hot blonde chick coming into Doctor Who, but there's still Yasmin Finney. Oh, and she's a girl with a penis, and everything's going to be okay. This is the meltdown I was talking about, right? This is 100% the meltdown I was talking about. With this in mind, Yasmin Finney's new rose means audience are about to enter a new stage of Doctor Who, and it already shows. Former showrunner Rusty Davis has returned to indicate a shift in tones and story from what the past season has been. What shit? The series is going to be Disney, blah, blah, blah. Big change of show, already budget, blah, blah, blah. This new rose also comes with the return of Faith. This is talking about Catherine Tate. This whole article, this whole insane bullshit article is to tell you, don't worry, there is a hot young woman who's going to be Doctor Who's companion, but they still love the chicks with dicks, baby. They still love the chicks with dicks. Is that a bad expression? I think they would like it, wouldn't they? I don't know. She's a chick. I'm saying she's a dick. I'm saying she's got a dick. You should be happy with that. If that is not the politically right way of saying things, they still love, the strange fluid sexuality. Then that's the whole point of this article. And the truth is the absolute opposite. Why they write this article? Because they want Doctor Who to be successful. They want it to connect to an audience. And to connect to the audience has to have some similar frame of reference. And for most people, if you're a chick, having a dick makes you not have a singular frame of reference, but we're told that's not a proper way to think nowadays. So here we have Yasmin Finney. I think that explains everything. One thing it doesn't explain is how is Millie Gibson so freaking hot at only 18? Okay, please, can we just force age her to 23? I will feel less creepy then, but I guess we can't do that. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.